All right, guys. Amanda, I'm going to make you co-host. Will you let people in the room for me?
Okay.
I know I just let some in, but I might. Thank you. All right, guys. So I want to welcome everyone to this beautiful Thursday. Can you believe it? December 4th. Whoa, wild, right? I want
Right.
to just welcome you guys here to the onboarding, but mainly what I want to do is welcome those of you that this is your first time. Maybe you've attended a training, and I want to welcome you to the High Flyers team as well. So I'm Joan Robison. I'm one of the leaders here in the High Flyer group. My business partner, Megan Miles, is in the waiting room. Here she comes. And we're very excited for each and every one of you to be here today. And the goal really of today is to give you a brief overview of where things are and support you to get into action. Okay. There will be at the end, I will wrap up and obviously open it up for questions. But I want to do a few housekeeping things just so that we're all on the same page. And, as new people come in, especially when there's a lot of people, guys, what can happen is, we can miss things. And so I want to just take a moment and remind everybody if you've come in, you've got the first 7 days to get $50 off your registration for Dallas. This is for the launch event. I think we're at about, what is it, guys? 80 days, maybe 81 days. Laura will know. Laura, what is it?
Think it's 80 or 79.
Yeah, right in there, right? 79 or 80 days till our official launch there in Dallas. And, as a team, it's just been an incredible 90 days. And I know it's going to be an incredible, basically, 80 more. And I just want to say welcome. So, if you are choosing to go to conference, and what I will say is, guys, truly, the most successful people attend conference, right? So if it is on your radar, take advantage of that $50 off. And also, Megan, do you want to drop in the chat where we are staying, just so people know? Um, yeah, in your back office for sure. Okay. The other thing I want to make mention is, guys, tonight is our travel and tinsel party. I'm sorry. I thought Megan was going to say something. Tonight is our travel and tinsel party. So if one of the CEO council members can drop the link, just in case one of you or none of you or all of you, if you haven't gotten in there, I'd love to invite you to get in there. And certainly, even as today goes, we're just inviting like crazy. Ultimately, guys, this group will be a group that will continue to evolve and use to support prospects and leads as they come in. So, after this party, we're going to be looking to create an ATM system. Megan and I both have done this for multiple companies in the past, and it works really well because you're able to leverage leads and they're constantly being kind of what I would call slowly dripped on. And it's a great way to keep your prospects warm. Okay, so we'll talk more about that as we move forward. But thank you, Laura. Laura went ahead and dropped the Facebook group, so feel free to join that. And if you're not in there, guys, the other thing I want to make sure that I am letting you know is we had the announcement. So right after that special, immediately that evening, we saw that we get double commissions for the rest of the month of December. So this is really huge. And I just want to have you consider as I share this with you guys. You certainly can keep all the commissions, right? I mean, you certainly can, but you also might consider even splitting some of those commissions to entice someone to join you. with sharing the love is what I'd call, right? So the elite, typically you're earning $40 as an elite. Okay. Double commissions brings it to 80. Okay, typically at an Elite Turbo, you're earning the 80. Double commissions obviously brings it to 160. So, how might you use that to your advantage to, still certainly get paid yourself, but also to leverage joining? And how can you entice someone by possibly, sharing that love or spreading that around? So I just want you to be thinking on that. And if you haven't joined the main High Flyers group, I'm going to actually ask Laura, would you mind dropping that one as well? Just the main Facebook group. So, guys, our chat is getting close to being maxed. We knew this would happen. We're still going to keep the chat. And as we continue to evolve, we will probably have more chats that are based on leadership levels. But for now, we'll still be keeping the chat. And what we're really uh, focused on doing is really making more of our announcements and up to the minute information. Yes, in the chat, but we're moving also into that Facebook group. So we finally got that Facebook group up and running. And I want to let you guys know that all of the guides, so, the start here guides that I'll run through shortly are in there as well. And I think it's just a much easier system than having to wait to be approved for schools. Okay. So we've got it all there for you, and we don't have any of the wait, if you will. Um, all right. So, what I would love to do is I'd love to open this up, and I'd love to hear from two or three of you. I'm actually going to draw a card here in a moment just to kind of set the mood, but I would love to hear from two or three of you. What are you most excited about? You said yes to this journey. What I find when I say yes to something that's new, a whole lot of emotions come over me, whether it's a little bit of fear, excitement, newness, knowing like, oh my gosh, I have this incredible opportunity. How am I going to commit to it? What am I going to do with it? So I would love to hear from a few of you. You want to share what you're most excited about. Who would like to come off mute and share? And they all jumped at once. No.
I'm always excited to travel.
All right, Roberta. So super excited to travel. Awesome. All right. Who else? Thank you, Roberta.
I'll just say I'm always the one tasked with coordinating our travel and figuring it all out. And so I've been playing around with the AI tool, and it's very good, I think, of giving you places to go and kind of helping you lay out a schedule. I'm not sure about how to adjust it yet, but I'm excited to use that and to learn and see how that grows and makes it much easier to plan a trip.
Yeah, right. Saves a lot of time. Joe, I love that you shared that. And guys, the AI feature, we're the only platform in the world right now that has this AI feature. This is something that definitely sets us apart. So if you haven't had time to go into Travel Advantage and play around in all of your spare time, I would suggest that you go in and play around with it and get excited about it, because this is just the first phase of the AI. The second phase coming will be your own personal concierge, and it just keeps getting better. So excellent. All right, thanks, Roberta. Thanks, Joe. How about one more? What are you most excited about? Who would like to share?
Hey, Joan. Hey,
Hey,
Joan,
hey,
it's
Trey.
Tracy. Hey. Well, yeah, travel's great. But what I am most excited about is this truly is an opportunity for people to change their financial situations and reach their financial dreams. And how great is it that we have the benefit of the travel to do that instead of just having a bunch of product in our garage on auto ship every month. So I'm just really excited that it's truly, truly life changing for anybody who's in a financial bind. This will work for you if you just work it. And that's what I'm most excited about.
I love that. I love it. Guys, thinking back to when I first joined my network marketing business, you know, I really wanted to leave my six-figure job to be a mom. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but at the time I was a single mom, and I remember thinking this is probably impossible. So I didn't give too much weight, but I did get really clear on what I wanted. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that today, foundationally for your business. But the ironic thing was, I did write out a few goals. I knew that I wanted to make at least $500 to $1,000 in my very first months of business. And I was willing to write those down. And part of what I'm going to be talking about today is the commitment to yourself and your business. It's not something that anybody can decide for you. And as one of the leaders here within the team, I want to share with you that our jobs are to meet you where you're at. It's for you to decide what's right for you, and then for us to come alongside you and help you get what you want. Now, the one piece I'm going to share with you is each of you here has an idea of what you want and what that measure of success looks like for you. So, whether you're somebody that wants to make, a little extra money, or maybe you want to make a lot of money, today my goal is to help you get more clear on that and determine that so that when you do get off and running and into action, that you have a strong foundation of understanding with clarity what it is you're wanting. And you can be that much more forthright with that focus and intention as you move forward and develop your business as well as yourself. All right, guys, I just pulled a card. Many of you guys know I love to pull a card to kind of set the tone. And isn't it ironic? Because I think as new people, we have so much excitement and we also have lots of fears. And I like to just talk about it because when we talk about fear, when we talk about excitement, we understand that we're not alone in this. Okay. I know when Megan and I first started the first 2 weeks, both of us looked at each other, and we've been doing this a long, long time. And of course, we dug in, but you feel like a fish out of water, right? It's kind of like, I don't know, or, you don't know how to navigate everything. So, first thing I want to say is if you feel a little uncomfortable, you're right where you need to be. And be graceful with yourself, because when you're starting something new, it always feels a little uncomfortable until it feels comfortable. And the only way, in my opinion, through that discomfort is to take action and practice. Your commitment to yourself and consistency will, after about 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to start going, okay, I'm doing pretty good here. I'm starting to really get it. All right, so the card that I drew is the fastest way out of fear is to get out of myself. And boy, isn't that the truth. What can I do to focus my energy in areas that serve me? I will get up and I will move. I will change the environment. I will turn on upbeat music. By reframing my focus, my mood and my state of mind will be transformed. I often ask myself, who can I help today? That simple 5 words is how I start my day, and it gets me out of my own head. Who can I help today? How can I be of service? When I flip the switch from thinking about myself and my fear to focusing on something completely different, I keep fear from gaining momentum. Focus on what could go right. Okay, so guys, this is a really great message, especially when we're brand new, because like I said, we've got a mix of emotions, and um, we can allow fear to dictate and rule us, or we can get up, we can move, we can take action. and we can begin working with fear, acknowledging it, but walking through it afraid. And you will find that it will dissipate. All right, so guys, what I first want to do is I'm going to give you just a quick little tour around the board. So I just want to make sure that everybody knows really that as a brand new person, you are coming into these boards. And again, I have the boards on my phone because that's where I do the majority of my business, but you can also keep boards. I also have it right here on my laptop, as you're seeing. So when we come in brand new, all right, there are two documents. So just take a note of this that you're going to want to use. You're going to want to use the brand ambassador onboarding checklist, as well as the onboarding conversation guide. Okay, and these can be found under, under team resources and training. Okay, so if we go back here, it's just right here, onboarding checklist and onboarding conversation. And already I need to update a few things because we've added the Facebook group, but we'll keep moving. So when you sign up, typically what happens is your sponsor will add you to the chat as well as the Facebook group, and they're creating a welcome post to welcome you into the group. Okay. From there, they are sending you, or you should have by now, this start here guide. Okay, and what we like to do is send you this first and have you begin working on this and then send you the rest of the boards. If you were to open up in the checklist, the way that I am showing you this is the way that it appears on the checklist. So you can just mark that off as you go. But I want to explain these things because this is really important, guys. So the step one here, which will take you less than 30 seconds, and if you haven't done this yet, I want everybody to pause right now to do it because this gets you into Megan and our system, our automations, so that you get the first 5 days of social media, so that you get the reminders and whatnot to important calls. Okay, so this right here, step one. Okay, step two is you're going to join the Facebook group and you will head over to the guides and start working on the team training system. And I know Laura went ahead and dropped the high flyers. I'm just want to make sure. Yep, here it is. So if you are not in the Facebook group, go ahead and join right now. Let's get everybody in there. And then step three is we start inviting for the next live presentation. Now, I'm not going to go through every single one of the guides right now, but I am going to share with you that tonight is Thursday and Megan is going to be hosting our live presentation. So maybe take a note. I'm going to show you where you can find all that because you don't have to remember everything. Let me come right here. Under what's happening will always be the current team weekly calendar. So you can see what's going on. Oh, I said Megan's hosting the overview. You guys, I apologize. It's the travel and tinsel party tonight. All right, so that will be in on my Zoom. So this same Zoom, but it will be in the Facebook page as well, streamed, I believe so. All right, let me back up. So what we do want to do is invite our people to the travel and tinsel party. All right. Okay. Notice down here's conference registration, but like I said, if you're new and it's within those first 7 days, you're going to see that in your back office. And I just want to encourage you to take advantage of that discount. Okay, so guys, again, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but you can see here social media, business presentations. I am going to pause here and explain this. We suggest that when you're sending a video, okay, and we want you to know that the leaders here, Tracy, myself, Megan, and there's a handful of other people. Guys, let us do the heavy lifting for you, but these tools are what you're going to use when someone is open to taking a peek. So here's the corporate presentation. And what I like about this, it's a 22-minute video, but there's also a welcome video from the owner, Yoni Asheroff, as well as a comp plan video at the bottom of this. So this is a really great one to send. I also really like this 12-minute video. This is kind of just a short, sweet, here we go. There's other presentations in here, but what I want to encourage you to do as a new person is watch the presentation that you're sending. Be sure that you've watched it, even if you want to put it on high speed or whatever, but watch it because people will then ask you questions about what you sent them. And you want to just be armed with being able to respond because you know what they're talking about. So there's a great one here of Megan. There's another one down here of Jen Perga. This one right here, guys, Travel Advantage Overview. This is Nuno, one of the corporate vice president of sales, I believe, or something. I can't remember his title. But anyway, this is the overview of the Travel Advantage platform. So when you have people that say we'd like to poke around or something, this would be the first thing I would send them. And then if you so choose, you can always hop on a Zoom or a call and, put in a location or two if they'd like to do that. But again, the majority of people, they're not asking that, but they might. So those are your options there. But I just like to keep it really clean, and I like to be very these are the way I train it is the way I do it. So we avoid what I call fragmentation. Okay. That's why we don't have like 40 videos in here, because I guarantee you there probably are 40 videos out there, but no sense on confusing everybody. All right. Links are to the pages, graphics. So for those of you, these are welcome graphics, rank promotion graphics. All right. Replays. The other thing I wanted to mention, so Megan has made a video on how to use placement or how to implement placement when you've started signing some, people up and you're wondering, okay, what do I do? People are in your holding tank, and what I want you to know is we all have 30 days to place, but it's really important that you place quickly because we are bringing people on, every single day. And if we aren't placing quickly, we're losing our place as, people are going to be above them that joined later. So, as you begin bringing people on, you can come back over here to the placement and watch that video. And if you have any questions, you can ask, in the chats, or you can reach out to Megan or myself. All right. I think that's really it that I want to share in boards. And what I'd like to do is spend the remaining amount of time getting you all into action. Okay. So first thing I want to talk about is you and really the onboarding conversation. So the majority of you have a sponsor that you've probably already talked to. And what I like to make sure that we're focused on that in those first conversations with our people is really understanding what they want. You want to book a 15 to 30-minute call with your brand new people and schedule it. Tell them we've got, 15, 20, 30 minutes, whatever it is. And my goal is I want to go through the onboarding conversation. So step one, obviously, when you get on the call, it's really important that you just talk to them, find out about them. You may not know them extremely well. Have just a human conversation. Okay. But step one is really to determining what you want and why you're doing what you're doing. When I first started, I want to share a couple things that really made a difference in me sticking around. And I train people every day the same way. It hasn't changed in many, many years, which is um, I made a commitment to myself to do whatever they told me for 90 days. And I tell you that because it was one of the best decisions I ever made. You know, I came on board and I was already scared. I had all these kind of like, thoughts running through my head. I had no network marketing experience. And I kind of was really talking negatively to myself with limiting beliefs. Okay. But what I finally figured out was I needed to commit to myself that I would do whatever it took for 90 days. And in a business like this, the results begin showing up in 90 days. So as I made that commitment, was there discomfort in 90 days? Absolutely. Was there successes and excitement in those 90 days? Absolutely. But what really supported me to continue with that momentum is knowing that I said, I will do whatever it takes. I will follow the company's success plan. I did not reinvent the wheel, and we didn't reinvent the wheel when we came here. It's already a proven strategy. We've added some things, Megan and I have, because we have some systems that can support you to, like our automations and different things like that. But we follow right along with what was already in place because it works. Okay. So I want to just encourage you to uncover really what you were wanting and why you are here. So if you'll notice on that page, maybe you have it up right now, but you might just be looking at what is it that I really want this business to do for me? And I think I told you guys, ultimately, I wanted to leave my corporate job at Nordstrom, but I didn't let that cat out of the bag right away. That was kind of between me and God for a while. I was afraid to fail, and I thought that's a lot to kind of ask for, and I didn't really know if it was possible. I hadn't known anybody that had made six figures and beyond. Well, I knew one person actually. So I didn't know what was possible, but here's what I knew. I know myself enough to know I needed to have short-term goals. So I went ahead and made those short-term goals. First goal was to make $500 my very first month, and I was able to do that. And my second goal was I want to eat Chinese food whenever I wanted without looking at a budget. I know that's kind of funny, but that was the truth. And I wanted to bring my son to Disneyland. Isn't that ironic? I had a little travel thing in my sights way back when. And I was able to do that. And after 90 days, I remember being out on my patio. I lived in Washington at the time. I was overlooking the Puget Sound. I had my little Plantronics headset on because I was doing some host coaching. And I remember thinking, you know what? I kind of like this. I think I'm not too bad. I'm going to stick around for another 90. And that's all she wrote. But here's why I tell you 90, you guys, and I know I've said this like 5 times, because there were many times within those first 3 months where I wanted to quit many, many times. I thought, why am I doing this? I'd go out, and in those days it was a party plan business, and I'd drive home and think, why did I say yes to this? And then there were other times where I drove home and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I said yes to this. So those emotions are totally normal, but I just want to encourage you to set yourself up for success, and making that commitment to yourself, I believe, is everything. All right, so step one is, like I said, we're determining what we want and what's most important to you. And in the conversation that you have with your sponsor, make sure that you both are on the same page. It's really hard for me to help somebody get what they want if I don't know what they want. right? This is why those conversations are so important. And if you think about it, when you're coming into a business, it's like each one of you brand new are on life support. I'm just going to say it like that. Okay. It's like you're on life support. And so we have to tend to you and support you. I'm not talking about enabling, I'm talking about empower you with giving you the tools and giving you the support that you need. So, foundationally, you got to have a reason why you're here, or it'll be really easy just to kind of go, I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, I don't really like this. I'm out. All right. The next step, once we kind of evoke that heart, right, and really determine why we're here, is we've got to have some goals. We have to have some benchmarks to achieve the dreams that we have or the desires and the what's, right? So goals really are more of the head. So now we've evoked the heart and now we want to go to the head. So these are things like how much money do you want to make? These are things like is it important for you to move up the ranks, hitting silver and have your membership auto finance so you're flush? Is it important to you to make 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 and beyond? Do you want to build a team? We have to discuss goals so we have destinations. Okay. And the most important part is who you become along the way. That's for true. That's the mastery part of it. Um, so, do you have goals? Have you sat and thought about what is your first goal? And I suggest that if you are wanting to move up the ranks and build a team, that obviously silver would be the first goal. And I also want to make mention that in your back office, when you joined, you probably saw that fast start. So I want to explain that just a little bit here. So the fast start is in play to give you $450 if you were to take advantage of the entire fast start. So what it means is when you come on board, you see that ticker and it says however many days you have left in the first week. Okay, when you add 2 people, that ticker starts over. So it gives you the first week, but you could add 2 people in your first 2 or 3 days, and then it unlocks the next week. So the idea would be in your first 3 week, 21 days, I guess is what it is, I believe, you have the ability to earn 450 extra dollars by bringing on 6 members. Okay, are you guys with me? And once you get 2, it starts over. So, we've had some people that brought on 6 people in their first week of business and they hit their fast start in a week. But it allows you week 1, week 2, and week 3. And if you miss week 1, then you miss and you're just going to be focusing on other things. Okay. All right. So, next thing, step 3 is to uncover your commitment level. Now, I just told you that for me, 90 days, no matter what, I always commit that way. But I also break it down into smaller bite-sized chunks. So you might be looking at, how many hours a day do you want to commit to your new business? Maybe some of you have just 1 hour. Maybe that's all you can commit to. Maybe some of you are a little more opened and you're committing to 2 or 3 hours. But what I want and why I'm going over this is because I want you to be intentional with your time. It's really hard to work a business when you're inconsistent and you're starting and stopping and you're all over the board and doing it in the nooks and crannies while you're, running out to the grocery store as a passenger in your car and then you're, coming home and you're cooking spaghetti and you're trying to do messaging over to the right. Be the business person that you really truly deserve to be and set yourself some business hours. Okay. So you might be looking at, you know, time frames that you can commit to. You might be looking at days that you can commit to. You'd be so surprised at how many people I coach that don't keep a schedule. And again, you guys, I'll be the first one to tell you, I build freedom into my schedule so that I can feel the freedom. But if I didn't have a schedule, I probably wouldn't be on this call right now. Okay. So do yourself the favor for efficiency and for your own results. Schedule your time and uncover your own commitment level. All right. Okay, guys, for the remainder of this time, what I want to really talk about is helping you get into action and really the flow and the process. Okay, so what I'm going to explain today is really a combination between taking it from a post. So, going from a post into the DMs, into signing someone up. And then I'm also going to talk about some direct messaging um, as well. But the first thing that we have to do is we want to get a list, and I would call this a warm list. It could be a chicken list, doesn't matter, but we want to get a list of 20 to 30 people. And what I would like to do is set a timer right now. So I'm actually just going to set a timer for like 3 minutes. And even if you've been here a while, you can still do this because you still add to your list. But I want to get you guys into action. Now, why I do a timer is so we don't overthink. Okay. So if you were just to get your pen and paper out, I'm going to tell you where I look to. First thing I do is I might go to my cell phone and look at A through Z. I might look at my favorites on my phone. Okay. I might think about people that I'm in the closest contact with. I might be thinking of people that I'd love to work with. Could think about friends, relatives, people that you're in social activities with, kids' activities, people you do business with. But here's what I want you to know. When I set the timer and you guys start going, if a name comes to your head, just get it down. Don't go look for their phone number yet. Don't go do all that. Just get it down on paper. And the goal would be in 3 minutes that you've got a significant number of people on your list. And I remember doing this not too long ago with my dad. We were watching a Seahawks football game, and I set a 5 minute timer. I wanted to get a list of 100 or more or whatever. And I remember my dad said, "What the hell you doing over there?" And I said, "I'm making my list and I don't want to overthink it." He said, "With a timer?" Anyway, kind of funny. But yes. Okay, so is everybody down with that? Drop a one in the comments if you got a pen and paper, old school, right? Get your list. You can do it in your phone too. I don't care. But I just want to make sure everybody's going to get ready to get into action. Okay, good. Okay, you guys. So I'm going to set the timer and then I'm going to be right back because I have a little headache. I got to take an aspirin. So, Advil. All right, ready? On your mark, get set, go. If a name comes to mind, just get it down. Doesn't mean you're going to call them. Okay, you guys, I'm going to give you one more minute because I can see you guys are working on it. One more minute. Let's go. Okay, guys, how'd we do? How'd we do? Who here drop a one in the comments if you got 10 or more. Okay, how about 15 or more? 20 or more? Who got more than 30? Anybody?
Yes.
Jean, you did more than 30? Who else? Congrats.
83.
Ah! Whoa, you were going.
Yeah, but not from today.
No. Wow.
It's
All right.
already in the bank.
Okay. All right. 15. All right. So guys, here's what I want you to notice is the feeling that you feel because you just accomplished something, right? You just got a lead list started. And I want you guys to know that half of my, in my opinion, half of really getting off to a successful start is getting started, right? It's that feeling of accomplishing what you need to do to get rolling into action. Okay. So, what I like to do with those lists is I continue to add to the list and challenge myself. And I want you to know the average person knows 700 people, the average person. Okay. You guys have Facebook, many of you have Instagram, TikTok, you've got your cell phones A to Z, you have your Facebook pages A to Z, and the list can go on. Okay. What I know is the majority of us will look at lists and we then start judging, right? Like, oh, she won't do it. She works at the bank. Oh, she doesn't have money. Oh, you know what? He's too busy. Or we start judging. And I want to just encourage you. Do your best to let go of deciding for other people what is right for them. Okay. Just focus on putting it out there. Okay. So if you were to go to the builder strategy in the boards, and the guides also have verbiage for you. Um, you know, I personally am going to share with you how I do it. And again, I provide text and scripts for guidance. If you were to copy and paste any of the text or scripts, they work, but they're also just a framework to give you an idea of what's important to be in a message and what's not. And I want to talk a little bit about what's not before I get into what's important. So you guys, long messages, 1 to 2 inches long, are not received well by anybody. And what I mean by that is we're piquing people's curiosity. We're not giving them the whole recipe. Are you guys following me? Okay, we're piquing curiosity. So we want to give them just enough to make them want to know more. All right. So notice at the top of the builder strategy, you'll establish a goal. Okay, and then you'll send a text message. Now, I'm going to share with you what I've been sending, and I can only just do it kind of off the top of my head. Of course, we'll be back here tomorrow for another onboarding if you are overzealous and you want more, right? Okay, so here's the way I say it. I am a voice message text combination person. And I would say something like, "Hey, Cheryl, it's Joan. You gotta check this out. Dot, dot, dot." Okay. Then I would voice message her, "Cheryl, oh my gosh, I've made a decision and I've partnered with a travel and lifestyle company. We're positioning leaders at the top, and I thought about you because I've always loved working with you," or whatever it is you love about Cheryl. Okay. I always love the way you're so bubbly and so good with people. I have no idea what you're up to, or if this would even interest you. But are you open to checking it out? Okay, that's just real simple. Okay, I use that all the time. And I like the sentence, "I have no idea what you're up to or if this would even interest you," because, guys, what that tells the person is Joan's not going to attach herself to my hip if I don't want to do this. Okay. Now, traditional sales would probably say that's not the way to do it, but I've recruited thousands of people and I do it this way and it works. Okay. Now, if I know them really well, I will get them on the phone before I send them a video. If I don't know them really well, I mean, we're talking about your warm list though right now, so most you are. If I don't know them really well though, I will send them a video. And I'll tell you why I do this, because I want to see their level of interest. If they won't watch the video, or if they won't, do you see where I'm going with that? Then kind of what's the point, right? So, um, the minute that somebody says they're opened, I then either, like I said, I get them on the phone, and you're probably wondering, what do you say when you get them on the phone? I have a small talk, "Hey, Michelle, it's Joan. I'm so glad you were available to chat a few minutes. Listen, how was Thanksgiving? What you got planned for the holidays?" Just a little small talk. But remember, she already gave me permission to call her and knows I'm going to be talking about the business. So we don't have to get all weirded out. And I say, "Gosh, I'm so glad the holidays were great. That's awesome. Okay. The reason why I'm calling is," and then I would repeat what I said. I made a decision to partner with this travel and lifestyle company. And I want to share with you the reason why I said yes to this. And so this is just a little bit of my story. And I usually start out by telling somebody, "You know what? I've never seen anything like this. In 25 years, I've been in this industry. An already successful company, um, that's just now in pre-launch here in the US." So I want you to think, guys, from your own perspective, what made you say yes? That's what you're telling your person. Just a little bit about your story, just a minute or two. And then, I'd say something like, what are you up to right now? What's been happening? Are you open to checking it out a little bit more? Then I would, if they, yeah, Joan, this sounds interesting. Now I'm sending them a video. Remember, these are people that I know pretty well. So I'm just having a conversation, letting them know why I chose this venture. But I want you to know that that conversation makes them feel special. I'm personally inviting you, or I wanted to reach out before I went public. So there's all kinds of ways you can position this, but I want to keep it simple. So now I send either the corporate video or the 12-minute video. Now, here's where I want to really make sure you guys hear me, because I know people that I've already worked with, this sounds maybe a little bit assertive, and it is, but you have to keep the momentum going within the conversation. So at this point, let's say Lisa agrees to watch the video. At that very moment, I'm in a voice message with her, or I'm on the phone with her, or a Zoom or whatever. I say, oh, great. I'm going to send this video over. When do you think you'll have time to watch it? You be able to watch it right now or a little bit later this afternoon? Notice the word choices. When do you think you'll have time to watch it? You think you'll be able to watch it right now or a little bit later this afternoon? Very casual. I'm not trying to, nail her down because I want her to watch it right now. I'm putting choices, two choices for her to decide what's right for her. But God, but I'm putting time bound on there so that it doesn't happen next Tuesday. And I want you guys to know I've done this enough times already in 90 days. The majority of people, if you're talking to them, will watch it right then and there. Okay? So then I look at my clock and I go, okay, she's watching it now at noon. It's a 12-minute video or whatever, 22-minute. Hey, how about if we do this? Let's chat at about 12:30. How's that work for you? I look at my clock. You want to chat at 12:30 or 1? Again, I'm going to give them some choices. Most people will say yes. And now I put it down. I let them go watch their video. I go do what I'm doing. I'm not even worried about it because we've treated this like a business, and now we're getting back to talking about it. Where people are having trouble is they send a video and they go, Joan, no one got back to me. They're not gonna. You guys, they're making an apple pie. Where's Deb? There she is. That's a joke between me and a few people here. People aren't invested yet. Don't get all wiggy. They're not ghosting you. Don't take it personally. But you need to button it up. And buttoning it up happens through, hey, Joe, do you have time to watch it right now or a little bit later this afternoon? And they will appreciate it. Okay? When I get them back to talking to them, whether it's a Zoom, a phone call, whatever, I say this. Oh gosh, I'm so glad you watched it. Gosh, tell me, what did you love most about the video? Or what spoke to you in the video? Or what stood out in the video? See, you want to avoid saying things like, what questions do you have? Because right away they're going to go, how much does it cost? Or something. We want to start them in that higher level vibration of excitement. And we assume that they love something about the video. Trust me, they'll tell you, oh, I found it very interesting that blah, 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 blah. And now you're taking notes and you have places to go. Okay. All right. At that point, let's say that you then go into some questions. All right, what questions did you have? And, whatever, they're maybe going to ask some questions. maybe there's some things that you don't feel comfortable or you don't feel like you can explain it fully. This is where you put people in a chat. That's Megan, myself, Tracy. I mean, there's plenty of other people here that you may be putting your upline in a chat. Okay. You can add 2 or 3 people. I always say add a few people, few leaders or whatever, because that way, if someone doesn't get right back to you, you've got someone talking in there. Okay. And there is a document on three-way chats. We're not going to go over that today, but it is under that all that training there. So you just know easily how to put someone into a three-way chat. Now, if we have a presentation available, right? Like it's 12 noon Mountain Time, we have a presentation that's going to take place here in just a few hours, or, a few more hours than few, but you know what I'm talking about. Hey, I'd love to invite you into our travel and tinsel party where you can get all the information tonight. They're going to be going live at, 5 or whatever it is. I think it's 5 Pacific. So my point is you're always driving someone to the next thing. And I believe it's always better to a live event if they're available. But if they're not, then you send a video. So we want to keep the momentum going. And if you want to get what I call, ghosted less, then you have to set some time bound time some times to be back in touch with them. And what I want you to know is it's a light commitment on their part as well. And what ends up happening, you guys, is they will actually watch the video because they chose the time for you to call back. You guys with me? Okay, I'm going to give you some action steps. I mean, really, I want you to finish. So, number one would be to continue to build that list. Number two would be to get your verbiage down so you feel good about your reach out number. Okay. So that you feel, somewhat comfortable, even in the uncomfortable. And number three would be let's have a goal to get, you know, 4 or 5 people to the event tonight. If they can't make the event, then let's have a goal to get 4 or 5 people to watch a video today. Okay? All right. I'm going to open it up for some questions. By the way, I know that even just today, it's a lot of information, you guys. I know that. But the most important thing that you can do is not learn everything in boards and everything in the modules and guides. That is not the most important thing. The most important thing that you can do is start talking to people. Okay? All right. I'm going to open it up for questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when we did our launch post, and we got information going, how do we stagger between, or how do we keep the momentum going on our posts? Like, are we posting about tonight? Am I needing to post something that's not related to the business before I can post that tonight? Like,
Oh, you
I
mean
think
for
I'm over.
I would put the travel and tinsel party in my stories
Okay.
and, like drop travel if you want to be included, or you know what I mean? Drop travel and I'll get you the deets. And then you can get them from the stories over into the DMs and then share the Facebook link. Is that helpful?
Yes, but then
Keep
I still need,
your post has a lot of action, so keep going on your post.
okay, the same one. So
Yeah.
don't post anything new. I want
I
to make,
think I think I would do my stories in your case because you got a lot going on. And what you
okay.
could do, Michelle, is you could edit the post and change those first few lines. Remember, like we talked about, so that you can boost that post back up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. All right. What else, guys? The one piece that I didn't cover today, guys, and then we'll just wrap up is once you do this, I kind of suggest that you get your first, few days or week under your belt. Then it's time to book a live, and do a nice live with a leader and what we call your grand opening launch live, and let us help you get more eyeballs on you. And there's information in the boards on that as well. All right. What were some of the takeaways? Takeaways.
I would say get started quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I was
Get
gonna,
started quickly. I love
I
it.
was, I was gonna say to get over my dang self.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Hey, I know it. I know it as good as anybody. Exactly.
Hey, Joan,
All right. Yeah.
I have one, and I've heard you say this, well, however many weeks, months I've been on these calls, but for some reason I heard it differently.
Okay.
One of my things I overthink continuously is when I reach out to people, that I have to come up with the small talk. And you said it this time. I have no idea what you are up to or if you would be interested.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, it honestly just, I heard it different because I'm like, why am I overthinking it? State the obvious, and why am I reaching out? I absolutely love that.
Oh, I'm glad. And guys, you're going to hear me do more and more training around connecting and communicating and all this. Thank you, Cheryl, for sharing that. It takes the edge off. It makes somebody feel relaxed to have a chat with you. I have no idea if this would interest you or if it would be right for you. I mean, I love saying that because it what it does to me is it moves people closer to me instead of further away or running for the hills because they're like, "Oh my God, this woman's gonna attach herself to me," right? Um, but like I said, I want to give you one last thing. Gosh, we're going over. I could do this all day long. Ask questions, right? Who, what, where, when, and how. What have you been up to? Tell me more. See, we think we have to have all these answers. That's not true. The answers you can find. And it's totally okay as a new person to say, you know what? Good question. I don't know that. I just started like 3 days ago, but I know someone that does, and I'm going to get back to you. But be curious about your prospects. That's the best thing that anyone can do. Don't give too much information. Don't say your company's name in a post, right? Be curious and have just meaningful, real conversations, and be proud of yourself as you have those reach out conversations. Don't look at it like, well, they said no, that was a waste. Uh-uh. The activity of the invite, the power of the invite is what you want to focus on. Okay? It's the activity of the invite. All right. Okay, guys. Well, listen, we're a few minutes after. I'm going to be back here again tomorrow. If you have any other questions or anything that you need, the same process if they comment on your post. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll talk more social media wise, probably, every Tuesday when we do trainings, we'll go into some of that. But yeah, I definitely do this the same way, whether I do a direct reach out. Once I get someone into the DMs, if you just follow this, you're going to be in good shape. Okay. And I basically just went through what I do.
Hey,
All
Joan,
right.
is everybody trying to stay in the Hyatt Regency for the conference?
Oh, good one. We actually, there's some people that are staying at the Hyatt Regency, but there's also, Joe, where did
Well, I
Megan?
wanted to use Travel Advantage to book my stay, and I saw that that hotel wasn't available.
Yeah,
So
it might already be. So we're
the
staying,
Marriott.
yeah, at that.
Yeah. So you can,
Megan, did you put it in there?
I
And
didn't because I had to hop on the
yeah.
freeway. Sorry.
Oh,
Hey Joe. It is. You can book the life. There is a life experience if you want to stay at the Hyatt Regency, which has a
Oh.
discounted price and other things included. So
Hmm.
that's in the life experience tab. If you want, it has like a Western theme, and then we are staying just like less than 5 minutes away at, I believe, the Town Suites. I have to pull it up.
it's
Okay.
called it's the Town Suites downtown Dallas.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah,
a
I could
little,
see the distances, so I was just curious if everybody was trying to stay in the main one or whatnot. Okay.
we
Yeah.
just determined we found a little bit of a less expensive option and
Yeah, you can save like $200 if you pick the Courtyard by Marriott.
Well,
Free.
yeah, it's
And you get some credits.
exactly. That's what, and with inflation, I think anybody isn't opposed to a good deal right now. So
Yeah.
most of the team, I think, so far has booked that because of obviously that, and then like I'm going with my family, so I prefer more space and a kitchen. You know, like
Yeah, exactly. Sure.
so I like having
Sounds
more
good.
space. Yeah.
Okay.
all right,
Oh,
guys.
Joan, just so you
Oh,
know, you may have mentioned, but I did find out from corporate in the chat, if you are in your 7 day period, the $50 off Dallas tickets shows at the top when you log in. So it's not
oh yeah.
viewed from our end. So,
All right. Yeah, you have to be brand new, right?
hmm
Yeah. Okay.
You have to be brand new for what?
for
You're
the
not brand new. No.
No.
The banner in the back office.
yeah,
So the banner on mine says save 100 at the international convention.
yeah, that's
Uh-huh.
normal. But
And I
then,
don't see anything about the other convention, but if I click that link, it takes me to a page with both of them,
yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
but I
Interesting.
don't see any price differences in there. I don't know. Maybe it'll
Yeah,
show
I
up when
think
I book
because
it.
you guys are technically on your 8th day now.
Ah, oh, so it was 7 days. Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
Oh,
Not a
I
big
am
deal.
curious if anyone is in their 7 day period, let me know. I'd love to have a screenshot to put in the boards. I don't know what it looks like because I'm not new. Oh, wait, I am new.
yeah.
I forgot. We got a
Megan, we
second
had this.
membership.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were like, we're running out of points. We need a second position, second membership. I'm going to go look now. I forgot. Okay. Forgot about that. All right. Thanks for having the call, Joan. Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Yep. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
All right, you guys have a great afternoon. We'll
Yep.
see you soon.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.